position with one magazine for a total of 0.1 book points. Bhakti Caleb, Haribo. In second position, in eighth position with one small book for a total of 0.25 book points. Bhakta Javier, Haribo. In eighth position with one Maha book. With two pamphlets for a total of 0.2 book points. Jagannatha, Haribo. And in seventh position, or rather sixth position, with one Maha book for a total for 2.0 book points. Radhastali Dasi, Haribo. And in fifth position with one big book and one Maha big book for a total of 3.0 book points. Magadari Das Brahmachari. And in third position, or rather fourth position, with two big books and one Maha big book for a total of 4 book points. Gyanavan Das Brahmachari. Haribo. And in third and second position with 2 medium books, 2 big books, and 2 Maha big books for a total of 7 book points. Aishwarya Mataji and Sarvamangala Devi Dasi. Haribo. And in first position with 4 pamphlets, 3 small books, 6 big books, and 2 Maha big books for a total of 10.15 book points. Bhakti Neva. Haribo. You did too? Yeah, she got first place, but we don't have a highlight. Okay, so we'll try to get that highlight from Bhakti Neva and from Aishwarya Mataji and Sarvamangala Devi Dasi. I don't have one either. So we'll try to work on that. And next would be Ganavan Prabhu. I don't have a highlight for him here either. And maybe would you be able to go and ask him? Can you go and ask? Okay, so we'll try to get a highlight from Gyanavan Prabhu also. And then we come to myself. Okay, so there was one day this past week that I was trying to get out to the Harinam. I think it was maybe Monday or Tuesday. And I was delayed in my departure. But as I was pulling down the street, then I saw one gentleman, young man with his dog, and I thought he looked spiritual. So I stopped my car and I parked to the side and I asked him if he had gotten our books. He said that we used to go to his house to get flowers. So he was familiar. He had already done some service. And yeah, I showed him the books and he gave a donation. He took SR and Srimad Bhagavatam or rather SSR and Bhagavad Gita. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. That's weird. How would he do that? So we're going to call Gyanavan Prabhu. He'll give a highlight.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You're live.
So yesterday, Maharaj met with two nice souls. Yeah. It was their first time at the temple, and they were both really sincere. His name was Varun, like Varun, and then Catherine. And they're moving from Boston to Wichita. They're on the drive. They're moving now, and they just stopped into the temple. And they were staying at a hotel last night in town, and now they're going to Wichita today. And he's a physicist professor. It's like experimental lab work in the world of physics. And he studied at Cambridge, and then he taught at MIT, and now he'll be teaching in Wichita. So a very distinguished individual and intelligent. And then Catherine's a lawyer, so it's quite the duo, very dynamic combination. And they knew a little bit about the philosophy. He had read Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. After sitting with Maharaj for some time, and furthering his line of questioning, he felt inspired to take Bhagavad Gita and a couple japa beads for him and his wife. So they're very nice people, and I was happy to deliver Bhagavad Gita into their hands. So Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai.
Thank you. Okay, so then we have Bhakti Caleb and Bhakti Javier. Okay, here you go. And Radha Salidasi. We don't have a highlight from her. And Jagannath Prabhu. Okay, so Jagannath or Javier, would you like to give a highlight? Okay.
So my highlight is when I was at the plaza. It was one of the weekdays, and this day we were doing Harinam, and I was trying to do book distribution. And so there was a man who looked either homeless or like he just I don't know, he probably was homeless, but he was sitting watching the Harinam for maybe a minute or two, and then he went up to me and he goes, "Do you guys have any books for free?" And I said, "Yeah, we have these pamphlets." And he said, "Yeah, I'll take one of those." And he told us that he liked us better than the Christian preachers. He liked what we were preaching better than what they were preaching. So he gave a little compliment. That's it. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai.
Okay, Bhakti Caleb.
So we went to Costco early in this week. Javier, Ava Mataji, and myself. And yeah, it was nice. we just kind of worked the parking lot and tried to stay away from the front entrance to avoid getting into any run-ins with the security. Ava was able to distribute, I think it was Perfection of Yoga in Spanish, to a gentleman who did not speak any English at all. And so we walked up to him and he immediately was like, no English. And so he pulled out his phone and he had an app that I'm trying to figure out which one it was because it was really helpful, that was translating for him and then back from what we were saying to him. So we didn't have any Spanish books on us at the time. And so she kept him talking and I ran as fast as I could back to the van to get a book. And I was actually like at the van and the guy in the car next to me must have been Indian. He said, Hare Krishna. I said, Hare Krishna. And we had some apple turnovers that day. So I said, do you want some prasadam? He was like, yeah. And I gave it to him. And then I ran off to get the other guy the Spanish book. So I made it back in time and she was still talking to him. He had his hood popped up. He was like adding oil to his car or something. And so, yeah, he took a Perfection of Yoga. And then another lady, I was able to distribute to her Science of Self-Realization. And she handed me a 20 and I had to give change back to her. And the security was pulling up behind me as I was doing that. And she was like, oh, I think you're about to get in trouble. I'll take the book real quick before you leave, though. So she took the book, and I turned around, and Javier was talking to the guy, and I walked up, and the guy goes, oh, he's with you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, okay. I thought maybe you guys were out here asking for money. I was like, we're distributing turnovers. And I said, do you want one? And the guy was like, no, I'm okay. And so we ended up distributing books there for another hour before a different security guard kind of caught wind of what we were doing, and so then we skedaddled before we got in trouble. But yeah, transcendental book distribution key.
So we have our budget campaign. At the current moment, we have distributed 3 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. Our goal this season, or this campaign, is to distribute 44 sets. So pray hard and show the books or display the books and then say what's on your heart to the people and encourage them to take the books. We also have ebooks that you can distribute too. So please keep it on your mind. Keep it in your prayers. We have 41 Srimad Bhagavatam sets to go.